So take us back to your first day at the port. What was your thoughts and emotions as you started here?
Well, it was a roller coaster for sure. I had worked all my career in container shipping, and I literally left my former job the day before I started with the port. And what I recall is we had a lot of things we needed to accomplish quickly. We were about to lose our major customer, Maersk Line, so we needed to fix that. And we needed to find a new home for BMW. So there was a lot of excitement. It meant a lot to me personally because I had grown up in a port in the southeast, that port being Savannah. So there's a bit of deja vu there as well. So I was excited about it as a new challenge. I'd done container shipping most of my career. I was ready for a little bit of a different challenge, and it was of course great to have a chance to live in Charleston.
So the port was in a really interesting spot when you first started. How did you navigate becoming acclimated to the new role and transforming the port at the same time?
Well, I think that every role's a bit different. It's always different when you start in a new place. I knew it was a great port tradition-wise. I knew it was a good maritime community. The port had always been the best operating port in the country, so I knew there was good raw material there. We had some challenges. We needed to fix certain things, such as keeping Maersk here. And then I think we also had to tell our story a bit better. I think if anything that I could identify that we needed to give our stakeholders, which if you think about the port, we're a business owned by the state government and the people of South Carolina, so we had to give a clear message to the people of South Carolina of what we could do to be successful. So we were able to keep Maersk, which was critical to our future. And then we had some luck along the way. We had the ability to attract a big ship service. We had the first call of the MSC Rita, which was an 8,000 TEU ship in May of 2010, and that kind of gave us the confidence that our theory about being able to handle big ships, being a difference maker, was valid.
In your first day of the port address, you said, quote, "The Port of Charleston will more aggressively market its key advantages, including its deep water, globally recognized productivity, and the dedication and hard work of the local maritime community." Talk about how that focus has been so important to the port over the past 10 years, and especially now as we come closer to finishing these huge investment projects.
Well, that first day of the port was interesting. I got an invitation in the mail and said, "Hey, you're invited to the State of the Port." I said, "Gee, who's speaking?" And I looked, it was me, actually, so that was a surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President and Chief Executive Officer of the South Carolina State Ports Authority, Jim Newsome.
But no, in all seriousness, I think that we had a lot to accomplish, and a lot of that had to do really with just really reinstilling the confidence in the port that we could be successful. You don't do anything alone in life, and I think that we had a good nucleus of proud people who wanted to be successful, who believed in what we could do in the future, and we had really to set our mind to a long-term plan to get that done. The port's a long cycle business. Nothing happens quickly. We needed to again, stabilize our cargo operations in terms of the size of our business and get on a growth track. I'm proud to say that we've grown, really twice the U.S. port market in the last 10 years. We were building a new terminal at the time, but we had not given a whole lot of thought to what we had to do with existing infrastructure to handle the big ships. So we needed to get focused on that as well, and then focused on deepening our harbor. So we talk a lot about infrastructure in the port, and that's important, but really the secret to make this port work is the people. Any business only succeeds if it has good people, and I think that was really key for us to leverage the knowledge and the talent of a very experienced group of people, not only working for the port, but in the maritime community overall.
You've always placed a huge amount of gratitude in port employees and also the maritime community as a whole. In your 2009 State of the Port address, you said, quote, "There is no port in the world with a more committed and talented group of industry professionals, and I am very thankful for that."
The port business is a team and not an individual sport, and the success that we will have will be ours collectively. Ladies and gentlemen, the best years of this great port are ahead of us, not behind us.
Talk about the strength of the relationships and how important it is to have strong partnerships across the maritime industry.
Well, again, I think the port, at the time I joined the port, had 500 people The greater maritime community in Charleston, the state of South Carolina, if you look at the economic impact studies, is probably 10,000 people. So it's a partnership. I mean, it's really a business the size of a Boeing or a BMW without all the same brand names per se. So we have to work together. And the port has to be sort of the hub and the spoke system, if you will, to make it work. But we rely on great partners, and I think if you look at the companies in this town, be it the pilots, be it the truckers that have been here for a long time, a company like Bulldog, Highway Express really started the port here with the first container. These are important relationships, and I think we have to make sure that everyone is successful, that everyone is benefiting from the growth, and if not, we've got to fix that. So again, I'm proud of the infrastructure that we're building here today. I think we've done a good job with that. But the most important thing is continuing to have a committed group of people that prosper from working for the port. For me, when I see the ILA man hours go up, when I see people on the waterfront working really as much as they want to work, making the type of incomes they want to make, that's what success looks like to me.
So Carnival launched a year-round program from Charleston. Inland Port Greer and Dillon open. The port sees all-time record-breaking volumes. Harbor deepening progresses. The port is named one of the top places to work in South Carolina. All of these are just some of the accomplishments that you've seen since being president and CEO the past 10 years. How do you feel when you hear those sort of successes?
Well, I'm very proud. I mean, I think we've accomplished a lot. I didn't know we were in the cruise business when I started here. Certainly, we were not really in the cruise business. We started in really May of that next year. I'm very, very proud of our cruise business, our relationship with Carnival. It's a great customer, gives us a lot of operating cash flow, and really helps diversify our mix of business. The inland ports were extremely innovative. I mean, when we started the inland port in Greer, there's really no certainty of success. It was an edgy sort of initiative. We knew we had 25,000 BMW containers in our pocket, but beyond that, we really didn't know. So we went forward with confidence. We thought we knew there were about 10 or 12 companies that could use it, and that would be a catalyst for further economic development. So it's grown to 150,000 containers today. Gave us the confidence to do the inland port in Dillon as well. And then again, the infrastructure in the port here to handle the big ships. I mean, the dominant theme of what we're doing today is really handling big container ships seamlessly. And through that, supporting the growth of the Southeast. We always say that the Southeast is probably the best place to be in the port business because of really population growth in foreign direct investment and manufacturing. So a port has got to be ready to step up to the challenge when that is needed, and I think we've been able to do that together.
As we look to the future, harbor deepening and Hugh K. Leatherman Senior Terminal will open. How big is this for the port and for the state of South Carolina?
I think it's absolutely huge. I mean, to be able to build new infrastructure, I think that the last new container terminal in the United States opened in 2009. So in 2021, we're going to open phase 1 of the Leatherman terminal. I think it's transformational. Will enable us really to almost double our capacity by 2032 timeframe. Obviously, deepening our harbor is critical in the sense that we want to be able to bring big container ships in without tidal restriction. Lines don't want to wait. They can't afford to miss canal appointments and things of that nature. So being able to deliver that on time is critical for the port. It's critical for the state of South Carolina. It's critical for the region. A lot of surveys have said that South Carolina is probably the most proportionally dependent state on trade of any state in the country today, and I believe that to be the case. And I think we approach our job every day here that the port's a major strategic asset of the state. So I think there are 7 states in the U.S. that can say they have a top 10 container port, and I think that's a real strength for a state like South Carolina.
You championed a cultural initiative at the port, coupled with the opening of the new headquarters. How important is this for the future workplace of the port?
I think if a business doesn't have a culture, a definable culture, it cannot survive. And what I observed in the port when I joined and over my first few years was that we operated extremely well. But a conversation I had with a man named Don Seal in Norfolk Southern Railroad led me to believe that we were operating well, but we were not getting at it the right way. We were getting at it in a very hierarchical and command and control type of way. And that's very similar to the experience of the Norfolk Southern Railroad. So once we had stabilized our business, we were on a growth path again. I felt it was important that we really establish a culture and really change our culture to get our, and what does culture change mean? It really gets more people involved in being leaders and defining our future. And I think we've done a good job of doing that. And I think the headquarters building here was really the capstone of that, because we were able to, we sort of disconnected from our workforce. We were in downtown Charleston. Workforce was out here. We had to travel a lot back and forth. And being out here has made just a big difference in terms of a connectivity to our workforce. Just being able to thank the people that work here for the great work that they do on a daily basis and to give them confidence in our future, I think is critical for the port. So culture change has been a big part of what we're doing. And the nice thing about it is, I'd say it's kind of a journey, not a destination. We can always be better at that, and I think we'll continue to do that.
A key phrase you have said since 2009 is the best years are ahead. What would you like to see happen in the next, let's say, 10 to 20 years at the port? Or what big initiatives will the port focus on in the years ahead?
Well, that's a good question. I think as proud as I am of what we've accomplished, I would say there's a lot ahead of us that we can accomplish. Because we have, up to now, our growth has been mainly tethered to manufacturing growth in the state, but there's a whole new world out there of retail distribution based on omni-channel and e-commerce trends today. There are not enough distribution centers today. So I think we really have an opportunity to get headlong into the retail distribution business, which was an opportunity we missed in the last decade. So I'd like to see us grow rapidly in that area. I'd like to see us continue to grow above the market. Certainly to deliver the infrastructure that we've planned on time, meaning 3 phases of the Leatherman terminal, finishing the optimization of this terminal, putting a new terminal operating system in place, and then one day building a Jasper Ocean terminal in Jasper County with the Georgia Ports Authority. At the same time, I think we need to cultivate and grow our private sector partnerships. There's a lot of opportunity here in retail transload and plastics packaging and shipments. And we need great local partners here. So we need to make sure that we encourage them to come here, all the while making sure the port works well. Nothing will happen good here if the port doesn't continue to work extremely well. And I think we do that today. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I'm excited about the future. I think that I will still always say our best years are ahead of us in the port with the number of initiatives that we have.
Now let's get some fun facts. Favorite football team?
Tennessee Volunteers, in spite of this last weekend.
Favorite baseball team?
Boston Red Sox.
Favorite basketball team?
Tennessee Volunteers.
Favorite meal?
Shrimp curry.
Favorite ice cream?
Peach.
Favorite city to visit?
San Diego.
Favorite exercise?
Spin bike.
Favorite cocktail?
Old fashioned.
Favorite college course?
Logistics, of course. So.
Favorite Starbucks order?
Quad Venti cappuccino.
Favorite thing about South Carolina?
Beaches and water.
Favorite song?
Rocky Top.
Favorite family tradition?
Thanksgiving.
Favorite animal?
Chocolate Lab.
Favorite thing about Costco?
Everything. I love everything about Costco, particularly the wine section.
And your favorite Netflix show?
Sopranos, if that was on Netflix. If not, I'm not sure.